Officer Ryan Carter shoved the handcuffs onto the black woman's wrists with unnecessary force. She didn't resist. She didn't argue. She just stood there calmly on the sidewalk outside the coffee shop. "You're under arrest for theft. Anything you say can and will be." Then it happened. As he spun her around roughly, something fell from her jacket pocket and hit the concrete with a metallic clink. Carter looked down. His face went white. On the ground, reflecting the afternoon sun, was a gold badge with an eagle emblem. Next to it, an ID card with bold letters, FBI Special Agent. The woman he'd just arrested wasn't a thief. She was federal law enforcement. And in the next 15 minutes, his entire life would fall apart. Before we show you how one dropped badge destroyed a racist cop's career, smash that like button and subscribe so you never miss these justice stories. Now let's see how this all started. Starbucks on Madison Avenue was packed with the usual afternoon crowd. Lawyers, business people, and students filled every table. Behind the counter, barista Jenny Walsh called out orders while her coworker restocked cups. At a corner table sat Special Agent Maya Johnson, 32 years old, dressed in a casual blazer and jeans. She was off-duty but still professional, reviewing case files on her laptop. Her coffee sat untouched as she studied photographs and witness statements. Maya had been with the FBI for 7 years, working in the Civil Rights Division. This week, she was in town investigating complaints of police misconduct in the local precinct. It was routine work, interviews, paperwork, evidence gathering, nothing dramatic. She had no idea that in 10 minutes she'd become the evidence herself. A white woman in her 50s, Corinne Morrison, stood at the counter, frantically searching through her designer purse. "My wallet is gone. Someone stole my wallet." The entire coffee shop went silent. All eyes turned toward her. Jenny, the barista, tried to calm her down. "Ma'am, are you sure you didn't leave it somewhere? Maybe in your car?" "No, I had it right here. I was sitting at that table." Corinne pointed to a spot near Maya's table. "And now it's gone. Someone in here took it." Her eyes scanned the room and stopped on Maya, the only black woman in the entire coffee shop. "Her. I saw her walking past my table. She must have taken it." Maya looked up from her laptop, confused. "Excuse me, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes working. I haven't been near your table." "I saw you. You walked right past me. I went to the bathroom once, but I didn't go near your table or your purse." Corinne's voice got louder. "She's lying. Call the police. She stole my wallet." Officer Ryan Carter had been with the force for 5 years. He had a reputation in the department, not a good one. His fellow officers knew he had instincts about who looked suspicious. Those instincts somehow always focused on black and Latino people. He'd never been formally disciplined, but complaints sat in his file. 12 of them. All from people of color, all dismissed. When the call came through about a theft at Starbucks, Carter was 2 blocks away. He arrived in 3 minutes, already convinced he knew what had happened before he even walked through the door. "Who's the suspect?" he asked immediately. Corinne pointed at Maya. "Her. She stole my wallet." "I saw her." Carter walked directly to Maya's table without asking any questions. He didn't ask what Maya saw. He didn't ask for witnesses. He didn't check security cameras. He just looked at Maya, a black woman in a coffee shop full of white people, and made his decision. "Stand up, ma'am." Maya closed her laptop calmly. "Officer, I didn't take anyone's wallet. I've been sitting here working." "I said stand up, now." Maya knew exactly what was happening. She'd seen it 100 times in her case files: racial profiling, presumption of guilt. An officer who'd already decided she was a criminal before gathering a single piece of evidence. She also knew she had a choice. She could identify herself as FBI right now and end this immediately. Flash her badge, watch the officer's face change, and walk away, but something stopped her. In her 7 years as an agent, she'd interviewed dozens of victims of police misconduct. They all told the same story. He didn't listen. He didn't care. He just assumed I was guilty. Maya had always documented their stories professionally, but she'd never experienced it herself. Now she was living it, and she realized this could be more than just a misunderstanding. This could be evidence, so she made a decision. She would comply with everything the officer asked. She would stay calm, she would let this play out, and she would see exactly how far Officer Carter's bias would take him. Her FBI badge and credentials were in her jacket pocket. She could reveal them at any moment, but not yet. Officer Carter grabbed Maya's arm and pulled her away from the table. His grip was firm, aggressive. "Put your hands where I can see them." Maya complied, raising her hands slowly. "Officer, I haven't done anything wrong. If you check the security cameras." "I don't need to check anything. The victim identified you. That's probable cause." He started patting down her jacket pockets roughly. Maya stayed still, but her jaw tightened. "Sir, you're conducting a search without my consent and without a warrant. I've got probable cause. Now empty your pockets, everything on the table." Maya reached into her jacket pocket slowly. Her right pocket held her car keys and phone. Her left pocket held her FBI badge and credentials. She pulled out the keys and phone first, placing them on the table. Her fingers touched the badge holder in her left pocket. Not yet. "That everything? Officer, I'm telling you I don't have this woman's wallet. Let me be the judge of that. Purse, open it." Maya handed him her small crossbody bag. Carter dumped the contents onto the table: lipstick, a protein bar, hand sanitizer, a notepad, and her personal wallet. He grabbed her wallet and opened it. Inside were her credit cards, driver's license, and $40 in cash. "This her wallet?" Carter asked Karen. Karen leaned in to look. "No, that's not mine." "Where's the stolen wallet then?" Carter demanded, looking at Maya. "I don't have it because I didn't take it." The other customers watched in uncomfortable silence. A few pulled out their phones and started recording. One young man, a college student named Marcus, spoke up. "Officer, I've been sitting here studying. I saw the whole thing. She never went near that lady's table." Carter shot him a look. "Sir, I need you to step back. This is police business." "But she didn't do anything." "Step back, now. Or you're interfering with an investigation." Marcus reluctantly moved back but kept his phone recording. Jenny, the barista, tried to help too. "Officer, I've been working this whole shift. That woman has been sitting in the same spot for like half an hour. I really don't think—" "Ma'am, I appreciate your input, but the victim has identified the suspect." Karen, sensing the officer's support, became more confident. "I know what I saw. She walked right past my table. She probably has my wallet hidden somewhere." "I don't have your wallet." Maya's voice remained calm, but frustration crept in. Carter stepped closer, his voice dropping to a threatening tone. "You're not helping yourself by lying. If you took the wallet, tell me now and things will go easier for you." "I can't confess to something I didn't do. That's how it's going to be." "Fine." Carter pulled out his handcuffs. "Turn around, hands behind your back." "You're arresting me for what?" "Theft, possible robbery, resisting cooperation with an investigation." "I've cooperated with everything you've asked." "Turn around." Maya took a deep breath. She could end this right now. Just say 3 words: "I'm FBI." But she didn't. She wanted to see how far he would go, how far his bias would push him. Because every second of this encounter was proof of exactly what she investigated: officers who saw black skin and assumed criminality. She turned around slowly and put her hands behind her back. Carter grabbed her wrists roughly and slapped the handcuffs on. They were too tight. Maya winced. "These are too tight. You're cutting off circulation. Should have thought about that before you decided to steal." He spun her back around to face him, his hand gripping her arm. That's when it happened. As Carter jerked Maya around, the movement caused her jacket to shift. The FBI badge holder in her left pocket, already loosened when she'd reached for her keys, slipped out. It fell in slow motion. The gold badge caught the afternoon light streaming through the window. The leather credential holder flipped once in the air. Then it hit the concrete floor with a sharp metallic clink. Everyone in the coffee shop heard it. The room went completely silent. Carter looked down. His hand was still gripping Maya's arm. His other hand still held his radio. On the floor, face up, was a gold badge with the FBI seal, an eagle with a shield, unmistakable and official. Next to it, the leather credential holder had fallen open, displaying an ID card with Maya's photo and the words: "Federal Bureau of Investigation, Special Agent Maya Johnson, Civil RIGHTS Division." Officer Carter stared at the badge on the floor. His face drained of color, his grip on Maya's arm loosened. Is that?" Maya's voice was quiet and cold. "My FBI badge, yes." The coffee shop erupted in whispers. Phones pointed at Carter from every angle. Someone muttered, "Oh my God, he just arrested an FBI agent." Carter's hands started shaking. He looked at Maya, then at the badge, then back at Maya. "You're FBI?" "Special Agent Maya Johnson, Civil Rights Division. And you just arrested me for a crime I didn't commit, without evidence, without checking cameras, and based solely on a false accusation." Carter took a step back. I didn't know." "You didn't know because you didn't ask. You saw a black woman and assumed I was a thief." Jenny, the barista, bent down and picked up the badge and credentials carefully. She handed them to Maya, who was still in handcuffs. "Officer, are you going to take these cuffs off her?" Carter fumbled for his keys, his hands trembling so badly he almost dropped them. "I'm sorry, let me just—" He unlocked the handcuffs. Maya rubbed her wrists where red marks had already formed. Those were too tight. That's excessive force. I'm sorry, Agent Johnson. You didn't mean to handcuff me painfully. Or you didn't mean to arrest me without evidence? Carter's mouth opened and closed. No words came out. Marcus, the college student, stepped forward again. I recorded the whole thing from the moment you walked in. You didn't ask her a single question. You just assumed she was guilty. I've got video too, said another customer. Same here, said a woman by the window. Carter looked around the room. Every phone was pointed at him. Every face showed the same expression, disgust. Maya turned to Karen, who had gone pale and silent. Ma'am, you accused me of stealing your wallet. Did you actually see me take it? Or did you just see me walk past your table? Karen stammered. I thought my wallet was gone and you were. I was what, black? Is that why you assumed I took it? No, I didn't mean. Jenny interrupted from behind the counter. Ma'am, I found your wallet. It was under the newspaper on your table. You left it there. She held up a designer wallet. The entire coffee shop gasped. Karen's face went bright red. Oh, I'm so sorry, I thought. You thought wrong. Maya's voice was ice. And instead of checking, you pointed at the only black woman here and called me a thief. Maya picked up her FBI badge from the table and held it up for everyone to see. Then she turned to Officer Carter. Officer, do you know what I do in the Civil Rights Division? Carter shook his head slightly. I investigate police misconduct. Specifically, I investigate officers who engage in racial profiling, excessive force, and violations of constitutional rights. Carter's face went from white to gray. I've been in this city for 3 days reviewing complaints against your precinct. 12 complaints against you specifically, Officer Carter, all from black or Latino people, all claiming you profiled them, all dismissed by your supervisors. Agent Johnson, I can explain. Explain what? That you walked into this coffee shop and immediately assumed I was guilty because of my skin color, that you searched me without consent, that you arrested me without evidence, that you used excessive force with these handcuffs. She held up her wrists, showing the red marks. Carter looked desperately at the other customers as if someone might defend him. No one did. The victim identified you. The victim was wrong, and instead of investigating, you took her word as absolute truth. Why? Because she's white and I'm black. Silence. That's profiling, officer, and everything you just did. It's all on camera, recorded by multiple witnesses. And you did it to a federal agent who specializes in prosecuting exactly this kind of misconduct. Carter's radio crackled. Unit 7, what's your status? He grabbed his radio with shaking hands. Dispatch. I need a supervisor at Starbucks on Madison, immediately. What's the situation? Carter looked at Maya, then at all the cameras pointed at him. Just send a supervisor, please. Maya calmly collected her belongings, her laptop, her phone, her keys. She clipped her FBI badge to her belt where it was clearly visible. You know what the worst part is, Officer Carter? He looked at her, eyes desperate. I was sitting here investigating your department's pattern of racial profiling, reading complaints from people you've targeted. And then you walked in and became a perfect example of exactly what I'm investigating. You provided me with first-hand evidence. Please, Agent Johnson, I didn't know. That's the point. You didn't care to know. You just saw me and decided I was a criminal. Sergeant Lisa Chen arrived within 5 minutes. She was a 20-year veteran known for running a tight ship. When she walked into the Starbucks and saw Officer Carter standing pale and shaking in front of a black woman with an FBI badge on her belt, she immediately understood this was bad. Agent Johnson? She'd seen Maya's name in the federal inquiry paperwork. I'm Sergeant Chen. Can you tell me what happened? Maya explained calmly and factually. The false accusation, Carter's immediate assumption of guilt, the search without consent, the painful handcuffs, and finally the discovery of the victim's wallet exactly where she'd left it. Officer Carter arrested me for a theft that never happened based on racial profiling. Sergeant Chen's jaw tightened. She turned to Carter. Did you check the security cameras before making the arrest? No, ma'am. Did you interview any other witnesses? No, ma'am. Did you attempt to locate the alleged stolen property before arresting Agent Johnson? No, ma'am. Chen closed her eyes briefly, the weight of the situation crushing down on her. Officer Carter, give me your badge and service weapon. You're suspended effective immediately pending investigation. Sergeant, please. Now, officer. Carter unclipped his badge with trembling hands and handed it over along with his weapon. Chen turned to Maya. Agent Johnson, I apologize on behalf of the department. This is unacceptable. We'll be conducting a full investigation. You'll be conducting an investigation, Sergeant, but so will I. And mine has federal authority. Within 2 hours, the video was everywhere. 6 different customers had recorded the incident from different angles. The clearest video from Marcus, the college student, showed everything. Carter's immediate profiling, the arrest without investigation, and the moment the FBI badge hit the floor. Marcus posted it with the caption, "Racist cop arrests black woman for crime that never happened. Didn't know she was FBI investigating him." It went viral instantly. 500,000 views in the first hour. By midnight, over 3 million views across all platforms. News outlets picked it up. FBI agent arrested by officer she was investigating became the top story on local news, then national news. The hashtag number badge drop moment trended worldwide. The police chief held an emergency press conference that evening. The room was packed with reporters. "We are aware of the incident involving Special Agent Maya Johnson and Officer Ryan Carter. Officer Carter has been suspended without pay pending a full investigation. We take these allegations extremely seriously." A reporter shouted, "Agent Johnson was in your city investigating racial profiling complaints against your department. Doesn't this prove those complaints are valid? We are cooperating fully with the FBI's investigation." That's not an answer. Your officer arrested a federal agent for a crime that didn't happen, based on nothing but her race. The chief looked uncomfortable. "The investigation will determine. The investigation is on video, chief. Everyone's seen it." The press conference deteriorated quickly. The chief couldn't defend the indefensible. Officer Ryan Carter was fired within a week, but that wasn't the end of his consequences. The FBI's Civil Rights Division, Maya's own unit, filed federal charges against him. Deprivation of rights under color of law, false arrest. Filing a false police report, he faced up to 5 years in federal prison and a $250,000 fine. His police union tried to defend him initially, claiming he'd made an honest mistake. But once the videos went public, showing his aggressive profiling and refusal to investigate, even the union went quiet. Carter eventually pleaded guilty to reduced charges and was sentenced to 2 years in federal prison. He was also permanently banned from working in law enforcement anywhere in the country. Maya's investigation didn't stop with Carter. His arrest of her became the centerpiece of a larger federal civil rights investigation into the entire precinct. Her report documented 47 complaints of racial profiling over 3 years. Statistical analysis showing black residents were stopped at 8 times the rate of white residents. Evidence that supervisors routinely dismissed complaints without investigation. A culture of protecting officers like Carter, instead of holding them accountable, the Department of Justice imposed a consent decree on the precinct, requiring body cameras on all officers with severe penalties for turning them off. Monthly audits of traffic stops and arrests by Race-Independent Civilian Oversight Board, mandatory bias training, automatic suspension for officers with multiple racial profiling complaints. Karen Morrison, the woman who made the false accusation, faced her own consequences. While she wasn't criminally charged, her life changed dramatically. The video clearly showed her pointing at Maya and declaring, she must have taken it with zero evidence. Her employer, a law firm where she worked as a paralegal, saw the video. Within 48 hours, she was fired for conduct unbecoming and bias incompatible with our firm's values. She issued a public apology. "I made a terrible mistake based on unconscious bias. I am deeply sorry to Agent Johnson, and I'm committed to examining my own prejudices." Maya never responded to the apology. Some things can't be fixed with words. Marcus, the college student who filmed everything, was interviewed by several news outlets. "I've seen this happen before, but never to someone who could fight back." Agent Johnson stayed calm and let the officer expose himself. She knew exactly what she was doing. That took courage. Jenny, the barista, posted on social media, "I've worked at this Starbucks for 3 years. The way that officer looked at her before even asking a question, I saw it. We all saw it. This is what racial profiling looks like. And if she hadn't been FBI, she might be in jail right now for a crime that never happened." Her post was shared 100,000 times. 3 weeks after the incident, Maya gave a single interview to a civil rights podcast. "People ask me why I didn't just show my badge immediately. And the truth is, I wanted to see how far he would go. I wanted to experience what the people I investigate experience every day." And what did you learn? That it's terrifying. Even knowing I had the power to stop it at any moment, being handcuffed and accused of a crime I didn't commit, based purely on someone's assumption about my character because of my skin color. It shook me. And I'm a federal agent with years of training. Imagine being a teenager or an elderly person or someone who doesn't know their rights. They experience this powerlessness and they have no badge to make it stop. Do you regret how it played out? No, because now there's video evidence that can't be denied or dismissed. Officer Carter can't claim it was a misunderstanding. The department can't claim it was an isolated incident. The entire country saw exactly what racial profiling looks like. And maybe, just maybe, it'll make people think twice before making assumptions about someone based on their skin color. The badge drop incident, as it became known, was used in police training academies across the country as an example of what not to do. It was taught in law schools as a case study in Fourth Amendment violations. It was discussed in civil rights organizations as proof that the problem is systemic, not individual. Most importantly, it gave courage to others who'd been profiled. Complaints against officers increased, not because misconduct increased, but because victims finally believed they might be taken seriously. Maya received hundreds of letters from people sharing their own stories of being profiled. Many said the same thing. Thank you for not backing down. Thank you for letting the world see what we experience. She kept every letter in a file in her office. On difficult days, she read them and remembered why the work mattered. 6 months after the incident, Maya was promoted to supervisory special agent, overseeing civil rights investigations across multiple states. Her first official act, she created a new protocol. Any officer with 3 or more racial profiling complaints would automatically trigger a federal review, regardless of whether local departments sustained the complaints. She thought about Officer Carter sometimes, not with anger but with something closer to pity. He'd thrown away his career because he couldn't see past his own prejudice. But more than that, she thought about all the people Carter had profiled over the years. The people who didn't have a badge to drop. The people who couldn't fight back. The people whose complaints were dismissed. This case wasn't just about her, it was about them. And because one badge dropped at exactly the right moment, the world finally saw what they'd been trying to say all along. This is real. This happens, and it needs to stop. If this story opened your eyes to the reality of racial profiling, hit that subscribe button and smash the like button. We share real stories where justice wins and people stand up against discrimination. Drop a comment telling us what you think should happen to officers who profile people based on race. And remember, change happens when we refuse to stay silent. See you in the next video with another powerful story of justice served.